You're finishing a book entitled Listening with the Heart. What is listening with the heart and a conscious parent?
Listening with the heart is the result of conscious parenting. What it is fine-tuning the parent as a total instrument, body, mind, and spirit, to be at the service of really seeing, being, and hearing who their child is. By so doing, they are able to not only connect with their child soul to soul, but are able to listen and view who this child is, what characteristics are unique to this child, and assist them to develop their potential without splintering or repressing their self-expression. In other words, to maintain the child whole and complete during all stages of his or her development.
How did you come to develop this work?
Well, this is the best part of the story. This program is largely a result of my own parenting of my son many years after the birth of my daughter. People always remark how incredible, secure, well-adjusted, open, creative my son was, and I was pleased with these comments. So one day a friend of mine asked me, and she said, "Dee, what are you most proud of in your life?" And I said, "The way I raised my son. I was so present with him, and literally from the day he was born, looked forward every morning to see him and be with him. Regardless of the difficulties that I faced, being with him and learning from him was a true contribution to both of us. So I began to write about the process that I engaged in bringing him up. This led me to write about when I considered myself an unconscious parent versus a conscious one. The book is partly autobiographical, as well as descriptive of the ways that I allowed my son to stay connected to himself. It also describes my journey raising my daughter when I was a teenager and the path I took to heal myself. This allowed me to become a conscious parent.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the process works?
To become a total or a conscious parent, you must be willing to do the following. Reparent yourself. This means that you take a good look at how you were parented, as well as how you internalized the parenting. You begin to heal yourself from old wounds. You then consciously decide what works and what does not work in the way that you treat yourself. You eliminate negative patterns of behavior so that these are not automatically passed on to your children. Number 2, you realize that you and your significant other or caregivers to your children are the models or mirrors that are reflecting the values, beliefs, and ways of being that your children will inevitably adopt. Therefore, you will review the way that you resolve conflict, communicate, and relate to your spouse or other significant caregivers. You will consciously take on new behavior that replaces ways of being that are not the way that you want your children to be reflected. 3, you will then learn the skill of being a listener of the heart, which is more than the skill of attentive listening. It is a way of listening which allows you to be fully present and ready and willing to discover, uncover, and empower your child's innate potential. Your aim is to develop their already existent potential in a way that does not break their will, but allows them to take their place in society as a creative, self-expressed, and confident individual.
How is it different from what might ordinarily be considered good parenting skills?
It is only different because I do not focus on what are good parenting skills. I focus on being with your child and being present with them. I do not tell you what to do, but rather allow you to discover and access this potential of being a parent inside of you. I also discuss tapping into your intuitive intelligence, which is undervalued in our society. This intuitive intelligence, when it is nurtured, allows you to know organically what is needed to comfort, support, and motivate your child.
What is the philosophy that underlines your pathway to conscious parenting?
Communication with your child is fundamental for him or her to grow physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually into his or her uniqueness. As parents, we are child developers. Our parenting skills need to assure us that we are not only adjusting our children into the social structure, but we are taking care of their souls. I come from the view that we are all born whole and complete. That is, however we are born, there are no defects. The defects are interpreted by our human view of what we have considered to be acceptable. While many forms of nature exist, we as humans also are distinct and unique exactly as we are. The Creator does not make mistakes. Children are born with batteries included. They are coded with whatever they need to be in this world. Some human beings that we call special needs are just born with a uniqueness that our society either does not accept as complete or does not consider whole. As child developers, our job is to discover, uncover, and empower their unique potential without breaking their wills. While we may want compliance and collaboration, we are not to motivate this through fear, but rather through love. This love is a way of being that transmits to the child that you are okay, exactly as you are, even when the behavior may not be acceptable. We are then not to make our children into our likeness, but to raise our children up by empowering them to become exactly the way that they are meant to be, with our influence to adjust them into the social structure.
Can a person who reads your book be able to become a conscious parent?
I believe that reading the book can open an individual to consider new aspects of what it means to raise a child that is whole and complete, and therefore can begin the process to conscious parenting. I do think that there are many disciplines that an individual can use as tools to become more conscious. However, to become a conscious parent who really listens and empowers their children, I believe the book will definitely be very insightful, as well as providing actions to fulfilling the joy of parenting.
I know that you offer a Listening with the Heart program. What would you say are the most important benefits and results people come away with from doing your workshop? And how will it benefit the parent and the child?
People who do the workshop will have a shift in the way that they view their parenting job. The skill of listening with the heart creates a foundation of respect in the relationship between parent and child. You actually learn to listen, feel, and take actions that are merged with reason and love. Parents will transform their relationship to themselves and have more ease, joy, and satisfaction personally as well as parents. The ability which they learn to be present and to really listen to who their children are will assure a bond of love between parent and child throughout all stages of their development. The other results will be ability to set healthy boundaries, communicate effectively with your child, and eliminate tension, arguments, and disruption. Your child will have a secure and confident voice, which will translate in higher self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth.
How can people find out more about what you do?
I will be doing 3 workshops in 2012, one in March, one in June, and one in September. I also do private sessions with parents and their children. So they can contact me at dweemartin08@gmail.com, or they can call me at my contact number, which is 413-884-2946. The dates will be posted on the website. However, if you're really interested, please make sure to contact me directly. Thank you for listening.